Welcome to the Killing Podcast, Season 3, Episode 9, Reckoning.
Reckoning!
I reckon it's Episode 9.
I'm sure that's what they meant by it.
Okay, Jonathan Demme directed this one. I just have to say that right now.
You know what? We have not paid attention to who's directed and who's written each episode.
No, this was the only one I recognized.
But when we saw it was Jonathan Demme, we are huge Jonathan Demme fans.
Okay, so we'll say now, we're your hosts, Martha Southgate.
And Rob Southgate.
And now we can talk about Jonathan Demme.
Okay, Jonathan Demme
Sounds
is
of the
awesome.
Lambs.
Yes.
Manchurian Candidate.
Yes.
Philadelphia.
Yes.
And he does one episode
Something Wild.
of The Killing.
Yes.
Why? Why
because
this
he's awesome.
episode?
Because he's awesome.
But that's just really... I noticed it right away when we were watching the episode. I was like, oh my gosh, Jonathan.
Yeah, it stood out. Well, he's such an excellent director. It just shows the caliber of this show. You know, pulling in somebody like him... This is a major league director. So yes. Awesome. Let's get going on this one. This is a good one. So it starts out with Callie's mom.
Yes, and we don't know her name.
You know what? We do.
Okay, but no one, I don't think, to me, her name is mentioned enough to warrant using it because people aren't going to know what we're talking about. So it's easier to just say Callie's mom.
Right. In some of my notes, though, I may call her, it's like Brenda or something. I don't know.
It's not.
But it's Callie's mom.
Yeah.
But she is... exhausted.
Yeah, she's passing out missing flyers in the trailer park.
Oh.
She gets home. Oh my gosh, this is my worst nightmare.
Yeah, once again.
The door, well, first of all, I was excited because I thought maybe it was Callie, but the door was open and the light was on. But when she gets in there, it was trashed.
Yeah, it looks like she was robbed. And big frowny face here.
Freaking Joe is in there.
Holy crap, it's Joe!
So we found Joe Mills.
Yeah.
We found Joe Mama.
Why is he there trashing her place? What's he looking for?
Because he's a psychopath.
But what is he looking for?
I don't know.
And why is he turned up now?
I don't know.
And where's Callie?
I don't know.
I want answers.
Well, Holder and Sarah are at the school waiting to see Adrian.
Yes.
And Holder says, it's going to take all day. That's okay. I got patience. I'm a patient man. Oh my gosh. He's so funny.
Oh, and I'm sure.
The fact that he had to say it out loud means he's not.
Yeah. And see, talking to Adrian, they still have this red tape where they have to, the school counselor has to get involved. They have to, make sure that it's all cool with Adrian, and you've got the foster parents. And so this is going to be a process. Mm-hmm. All this stuff is a process.
So, while they're at the school, they get a call to go to Callie's mom's place.
Right.
And so they have to leave in the middle of the process waiting for Adrian.
Yeah. And we found out what Joe wanted. Because they leave, they go to Callie's mom. He beat her up, and he took her money.
Yeah,
he wanted her money. That's what he was looking for.
Oh my gosh! And Sarah has the most perfect line of the day.
Yeah.
This is so Sarah, because it is so callous and condescending. But she says, "He stole your money? He must be really desperate."
Yeah,
like that's so freaking harsh. Money's money, first of all, lady. But second of all.
Yeah.
Okay, way to kick a person when she's
just
down.
Been beaten, her daughter's missing, and you do that. Wait, Holder had a heck of a line here, too.
Well, he also stole her car, and then I wrote, majorly inappropriate Holder.
And that's where he says, was he scouting a Montessori for talent? Is that why he was back? Oh, my God.
Oh, he's so wrong.
Okay, so Joe took...
He took his camping
the camping
stuff,
and fishing stuff, yeah.
And he asked her if he had any of the chains still at her place.
Right, the snow chains for the
tires.
Yeah,
he's going...
I want to be specific, because he wanted to know if she had chains.
He's going... he's going to Canada?
Oh, yeah.
Question mark.
Oh, no, I put an exclamation point. He is going to Canada. Why else would he... They're in Seattle. He's going to go over the border, get into Canada, and disappear.
And I said, he's definitely going off grid. He's going to go...
Oh, yeah.
He's going to go...
We're going to see him on Preppers.
Yeah, Survivor Man.
Survivor Man, yeah. So, Into the Wild.
Seward is calling Sarah.
Dual Survivor.
Seward is calling Sarah. He riled up Francis in a big way, talking trash about the guy's wife.
Oh, yes.
It's not good.
No.
It's really
do you really want to, even though you're behind bars and he's not supposed to do anything, do you really want to rile up Francis in that situation?
No.
Francis. No.
So, Holder won't give Sarah a cigarette because she never buys any. And
right. So he gets her smoking.
And she says, yeah, exactly. She gets her hooked.
And now he cuts her off.
And she says, did you and Bullet break up?
Oh.
They're at Joe's storage locker. and they see that Joe's been sleeping there, and they chase him down.
Well, wait, no, you're skipping
I just
over
like
it.
to skip. Yeah, go ahead.
They find his rat hole that he's sleeping in. They find his stuff laid out there that he's sleeping there.
His storage locker. Yeah.
And I think she sees a cigarette or something that's still smoking. Something indicates, I can't remember.
Yeah, that he's still there. Absolutely.
That he's still there, right. You just said they just start chasing him, but you don't think he's there at all. And she notices this, and then she's like, he's still here.
Yes.
And then they start chasing him down, and Holder, he jumps, he chases, and he tackles Sarah.
Yep. Not Holder. You just said Holder.
Right, I said Holder. No, I was freaking out. Joe tackles her, and he starts choking her, like really choking the life out of her, and he starts hitting her. And Holder, you see him running, and it's like, but it's so scary because he's crushing her neck.
Yeah.
It's like, is he going to make it there in time?
Holder beat the crap out of him.
He tackles him and kicks
and then
his
Sarah takes
ass.
her turn.
Yep, she gets up and starts kicking him over and over. And it's awful because her face is all bloody and wow, what a scene.
They found a cigar box of rings in his storage unit.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then Bullet.
This is terrible. This is terrible.
Sarah notices Bullet's necklace was in there. Oh my gosh, I was freaking out.
As soon as she sees it, she pulls it up and it's that bullet.
No.
Oh my god.
And
now Holder's not there. He's out.
But they're saying to Sarah, oh, we found a body in the trunk. Sarah's trying to get there. She's trying to run.
No.
She's screaming,
no. You got it wrong. They didn't tell her they found a body in the trunk.
Yes, they did. And yes, they did. That's why she went, no, tell him not to open it.
Oh, I didn't think that they had found it yet. I thought Holder was just down there. They found the cab and he was opening it.
She knew
that there was
going to be a body in the trunk.
Oh my God.
And
so
she's like,
running.
don't open the trunk.
She doesn't want Holder to see
this.
this.
Don't open the trunk. And
it's just terrible. She's running after it. She makes it just in time.
She looks at him and she says, don't open the trunk, just come over here.
And what does he do?
Please don't. And Bullet's I'm gonna cry.
He opens the trunk because he knows as soon as she says it, I've got chills. I'm going to cry because it's awful.
I love Bullet
It was
so
sad.
And Sarah knows how much
and the way
Holder
they show us, they don't show
Bullet.
us Bullet, they just show the tattoo on her arm that we know, on her wrist, that we know it's her.
I cried, and I wrote no.
So at the end of the last episode, that person in the car got her.
And there's no blue ring with the other jewelry.
No.
And Holder's girlfriend tries to comfort him and fails, and he yells at her, and rightly so.
Yeah. Oh.
Just all a mess.
So now they have Joe locked up. We need to move on from that, because that was devastating.
So Lyric got Twitch's parole officer to get him off probation. That was huge.
Yes.
And she's going to go get Section 8 housing.
Right.
And he's the one who has to tell her about Bullet. Oh.
Horrible.
I mean, this is really, really, really a painful episode. So Holder and Sarah go back and they can talk to Adrian, but they can't.
Imagine this.
They can't leave.
After what they just experienced, now they've got to go and talk to Adrian. Like,
but they can't. They have permission, but they can't do it. They can't leave because Callie's mom is in talking to Joe, and they're trying to get information.
She's now sitting face to face with Joe. He denies everything, says he loves Callie, will find her.
Joe tells Callie's mom to go get money to get a real lawyer to get him out of there so they could be a family. Like,
yeah, we'll be a family.
He's so freaking out of his gourd.
Oh.
And she looks at him and says, your mother is done protecting you. You're not her little boy anymore.
Yeah, and that's where he freaks.
And then she said
he doesn't believe it
what he did
either.
to the little girls in the films. And he said it's not wrong because they came to him.
Yeah.
Oh!
He goes, it's nature.
Sick.
I did nothing wrong.
Just sick. So she attacks him.
Right. But he says he was gentle and took care of him.
Oh, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah. He made the hurt go away. We got to get all those lines in there.
No, we don't.
Just
I'm gonna
god awful.
So she attacks him, and he won't tell her where Callie is.
Yeah.
That bastard. So Sarah finally gets to Adrian. She's with Adrian, And he
I'm
says
uncomfortable just even getting through that scene.
he says he saw the man who hurt his mom,
Yeah.
and he had a knife. And they find out that the Christmas tree lights were on, and that's how they could see.
He also confirms, I saw him from the closet. So it's all the stuff that we saw. Adrian is confirming all of it.
And he ID'd Joe.
Yes.
And then
she shows him that picture of all these different people, and he points right at Joe.
And he says, "Can I see my dad now?"
Oh, my God.
So, holy cow.
So they've got him. They've got Joe. I mean, this is really wild because I love this. They're flipping it over on this episode. They still have 2 more episodes after this. But this part of it is getting solved. The Adrian thing we think is solved, but I have a feeling we're not done with this.
It can't be. There are too many episodes left. So Skinner's holding a press conference, and Sarah's about to call Seward, but sees Callie's mom.
Right.
And Callie's mom said, "I thought he was one of the good ones. He was in Alaska." Okay, holy crap.
Oh yeah, right.
You're saying, it's done, solved. No, 5 seconds later, Callie's mom blows up Adrian's testimony because they have proof that Joe was in Alaska when Adrian's mom was killed.
He was not in Seattle, so he didn't kill.
So is Seward guilty and Adrian's protecting his dad?
Right. Or
But how did he know Joe? How did he know to finger Joe on that?
I don't know.
Although maybe his face has been all over the news or something.
Right.
Maybe.
Right. Actually, I believe that. Let's spoil it. Later in the episode, they say that he probably saw his face in the news.
Oh, okay.
But this was very unsettling. Also, as you're hearing all this, I just as I'm watching, I'm trying to process what is going on. One of the thoughts I had was that it was Joe, that he had lied to Callie's mom about being in Alaska, that this was what he did. Mm-hmm. He stayed and hunted.
Mm-hmm. No, but he was on a boat or something.
Right.
There's proof he was in Alaska. Right. And Sarah knows
I'm just telling you my thought process.
But Sarah knew at that moment that it's done. Joe is done. He's guilty of a lot of things.
He's guilty.
But he's not guilty of Seward's wife's murder.
Right. So we see Seward, he's screaming for the phone. And Francis won't give him the phone.
Right. And then
he says, "No one's coming to save you."
Dale starts giving him encouragement and telling him that there's still time.
Yeah, there's always
hope. Don't give up.
And we're at the point now where this execution is 24 hours away. Oh my gosh,
I'm dying. I mean, it's like it makes my stomach hurt.
But is he guilty? Is he innocent? Sarah's thinking he's innocent until right now.
Right.
This Joe thing.
And now it's like, what? Now what do we do with that? Why was Adrian? Who's Adrian protecting?
Right. And how is Joe? I mean, this is the thing that's got me here. What Joe is saying, it's just like in the last one with Pastor Mike. When Joe is saying these things about he's innocent and all that, you start to wonder, did he actually kill the girls, or is there something more going on there? He is guilty of these sex crimes and all that. They've got all this proof, the thing in his storage locker, Lyric's body in his trunk, but we don't 100%. No, not Lyric, Bullet. We don't know it's him yet.
Right.
We just don't know.
Nope.
I mean, this is really, it's like a big conspiracy.
Yeah, it's a mess. So, okay, one of my very favorite scenes.
Oh, man.
And this is lighthearted, but I loved this when Twitch got Lyric the apartment.
Yes.
And he takes her in there and he says he's not going to California.
Right.
He's going to stay with her.
It was nice to have something positive.
Oh my gosh, I have not felt strongly about Twitch either direction most of the time. I love him now.
And they kind of do the Sound of Music thing where she kind of puts her arms out and looks up like...
Oh, I mean, imagine finally. Going from being homeless to... you've got to feel like you've arrived.
And she's like, "You're giving up your dreams," and he's like, I don't think so. No, that wasn't happening. Here's something we can do.
Exactly.
This is really amazing.
It was very, very, very cool.
Really well handled, too.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. So Sarah comes into Holder's apartment uninvited.
Okay, let's just say Holder is...
devastated.
depressed. Like,
oh, he's beyond depressed. He's devastated. He loved Bullet. Yeah. He loved that kid, and he really
and the whole thing is
guilty.
So messy, and Bullet's dead, and
he's just devastated.
He's done, and he's just sitting there, just in his
So he's on his leather couch,
just smoking.
He's on his leather couch in the dark in his apartment.
Yep.
X-Files, anyone?
Right, here we go. He puts an X on the window, and
so Sarah comes in uninvited, and she tells him that Adrian lied. And she wants to bury the freaking evidence to get Seward a stay.
Right.
To buy some time.
Right.
And Holder's like, who are you? What are you talking? You want to bury evidence. Do you hear yourself?
Right. But she's so desperate. She's like,
he's going to die.
And this is such a mess.
And she doesn't know if he's guilty. He shouldn't die if they're not sure that he's guilty.
Well, and the emotions are running really high here. It's just, I mean, this is just all awful for both of them. It's possibly the lowest point we've seen the two of them at in the same room, and with stress and panic and everything.
So Holder's beating himself up because he didn't pick up the phone when Bullet called him. And she says, don't do this. You want to sit here and die. And he moved to kiss her.
Yeah, he moves over to kiss her. And she pulls back.
Of course, because she'll go with anyone but him.
Right.
Why?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you why. Because at this moment, she knows this isn't because it's not a date.
It's not an attraction
thing. It is, he's doing anything
to numb,
and she is not that. It will ruin their relationship if this is how this goes.
And he cries, and I wanted to cry.
Yeah, and she hugs him, and he's crying, and you know what? There's your feels.
Exactly. Oh, there are tremendous feels. I didn't need him to do it. I'm just saying, on top of it all, he knows that she will pretty much, if it's a moving object, she's on, she'll be.
Yeah, moving object.
But except Holder, she's not very discriminatory,
except for Holder.
Discriminating.
But that's because, Marth, she really loves him. She didn't love Skinner or the teenage boy that she was dating that worked at the...
Cody.
The teenager.
So Seward is outside, and the crows are cawing. And Dale,
So this is where they told him he gets extra time on his last day, and there he is.
Let me just say, we have been wondering why they haven't used Nick Lay.
Let me tell you.
In a better way, like a little bit more Nick effectively. Lay, holy crap, because it was all coming to this.
And you know what? This is also, I want to point this out, this is why you got Jonathan Demme.
Yeah.
This scene is such a Jonathan Demme scene.
Yeah.
It's orchestrated so well. The pacing is right. This is the hand of a director, an Oscar-winning director.
Okay.
Not that the other ones haven't been spectacular, but I'm telling you, this scene, I was like, Silence of the Lambs, right here.
Was fantastic. And Nick Lay, wow, seriously, well played, dude.
Yeah.
Well freaking played, because I did not see this coming.
Okay, let's break it down a little bit. So he starts talking about prison when he was born and everything.
Well, he says...
But I want us to say, as he's going through this, you can say what he said, but I want to say, in my notes, I have a note here. I said, is Nicholas Lay real? Because... Oh,
you thought he was a
we didn't see him interacting with... Like he was a figment of Seward's imagination. At this moment, not after this moment, but at this moment, all of a sudden, all the things we've seen, these little clues, I went, he's been talking to him about God. He's been talking to him about having faith. He didn't interact with Hill, to my knowledge. He interacted with Seward. When they were beating on so-and-so, he wasn't yelling out. He's been very silent, and every once in a while he'd kind of pop into the frame.
So, like the Sixth Sense.
Yes. Was he not real?
Yeah. So...
Okay, but he is.
Here's the deal. So Dale is talking to Seward, and he says, "Do you see your boy tomorrow?" And what was it like when he was born? And Seward says, "I was in prison when he was born. I didn't see him until he was 7 months old." So Dale teaches him how to pray, and I wrote, "Oh no, he's crazy. He was destroying him." And Dale says, in here, the words do the killing for me. I've been killing you since the day we met.
Oh
my freaking God, did not see that coming. Did not in a million years.
The most cruel thing
I've ever seen in my life
that we have seen here. He
had him
with
on
all
his
the
knees
murder
praying.
and the horrible stuff that Joe was saying and all. This guy psychologically destroying a guy on death row who is potentially innocent.
Yeah.
And taking the moment where he's 24 hours away. He's got his last hour outside of his life, and he chooses this time to strike.
Oh my gosh.
And he's pleased with it.
He is one of the I cannot
This is a verbal
recall,
Hannibal Lecter. This is...
Yeah, but I can't recall on television.
Yeah, pure evil.
Another character that was this horrifying. I mean, that is like...
Yeah, this...
just insidious.
This
like, it's
changed that game. It was unbelievable.
I've never seen anything like it. Props to Nick Lay.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this actually took my breath away. When it happened... I was
we were just staring at each other like
I was in my t-shirt on my leather couch smoking. You came in.
No, you weren't. Okay, no, that didn't happen.
I tried to kiss you. I was devastated.
No, that didn't. I did reject you, but
yeah. And there's no. I don't smoke. There's no leather couch, but the rest of it was true.
Nothing at all like the truth. But I just died. I've been killing you since the day we met. Wow, that is just beyond. And he says it all deadpan and sort of a smile on his face.
He had pure pleasure out of it.
It was so sick.
Yeah. And then he just knocks the thing. He's like, I'm done out here.
Oh.
Let me in.
Oh.
So he did what he wanted to. He did it, and he was like enjoying it. Oh, horrible.
So Francis volunteered Henderson to be at the execution. Henderson gets a frantic call from Annie, who's Francis's wife.
Right. She's hysterical.
That the son, he's got a gun.
No. That call was he shot him.
Yeah. And so we're going, wait, Francis shot him?
Yeah,
Francis shot? No.
Then we find out the son shot the wife's boyfriend, or at least a guy who was coming over. We don't know if it's her boyfriend, but she has this history.
Uh-huh.
And the son is Francis's kid, bubbled up, shot the guy. They're outside of the house there. They're seeing them. They've got the body they're bringing out, and then they've got the kid in handcuffs. The wife's crying. Francis looks dazed. He's like not even there. For the first time, I really feel for Francis. Like his whole life just crashed.
He created that.
He did.
All of this was allowed.
Right.
All of this could have been prevented and could have been alleviated. He stayed with this psychotic woman, and he did not protect his child.
Right.
So, and Francis himself needs tremendous amounts of medication and therapy. But all of this was just a nightmare.
Oh my God! So, after the Nicholas Lay scene, and now
this episode
this whole thing is turned black.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
So Holder's in the morgue with the coroner.
Yeah, and here's another cheery scene.
Oh, this guy, the coroner! Holy cow! So he tells.
Well, he's standing there looking over Bullett's body. He's actually protecting the body.
Right.
Like he doesn't want just answers. I get that feeling like he's standing there protecting.
Yes. And he tells Holder that Bullitt called a bunch of times at the station for Holder the last night.
Right.
So Holder does and
he realizes Carl didn't tell him.
What anyone would do. You got to go to Carl's house while his family's having dinner and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, Carl didn't tell him. What is up with that?
And he says, you talked to her and you didn't help her. Right. And he beat him down. I mean, he did not.
Well, and Carl we've suspected before.
Right.
What if he was getting these calls? What happened at that point? Did Carl go out and get her?
Right.
Is that what was going on? I mean, we don't know.
You're saying we suspected Carl I still suspect Carl.
No, but I'm saying we have suspected him in the past.
Yes.
Here's another thing where you're going, wait a minute.
There's something so wrong going on
here. Did Carl, was he involved? Like, did he put the rings in Joe's thing? Is Joe getting framed by Carl?
It's a huge possibility.
This is really, like, amazing. Okay.
So Sarah's at the station, and Bullet's name is now on the board of the
dead
ID,
girls.
but the ones who have been identified.
Oh, it's awful.
And they have one set of rings that they can't ID, and I think they're Trish Seward's.
Yeah.
Sarah thinks that there's no connection between the cases now. She's just kind of resigning herself. Skinner invites her out with the gang, to go celebrate the catching of Mills, but she's clearly not in the mood to celebrate. And Holder gets home.
Wait. And he also, you missed this, he asked her if she's going to go to the execution. Skinner asked her because they're the two that put him in there.
Yeah.
And she says no. And then Skinner tells her that she should stay on as a detective. This is all important.
It is. I'm glad you wrote it.
He says she needs to stay on as a detective.
I was a little shell-shocked at this point.
It's where you belong.
Yes.
Which, at this moment, I'm sure she's not feeling that.
Right.
I'm sure she's not feeling that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Holder...
Now we get to the fast part. This is a really fast one.
Holder gets home and sort of squats onto the floor, like he slides down the wall.
Yes.
And he's just squatting on the floor, kind of holding his head. And Seward is looking out his window of his cell, and Sarah's holding the rings.
Yeah, she's sitting in her car, and she's just looking at those rings. And once again, processing.
Oh, yeah. She's going to put something together. I mean, come on.
And that's where it ends.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Almost there. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find past episodes of this and all of our other podcasts at our website, which is www.southgatemediagroup.com. You can also find us on iTunes. And if you want to try our other podcasts, in the search, just type in Southgate Media Group, and we have a provider page with all of our shows there. You can click on them, get all the past episodes and everything. We don't hold anything back. You can find us on Tumblr. Just type in Southgate Media Group /tumblr.com. Find us on Twitter. This show is at The Killing Pod. Martha, you tweet from
SMG at SMG Pods,
and I tweet from R Southgate. You can find us on Pinterest. We have a board there for we have boards for our different shows, but specifically for The Killing Podcast. So you can find that on Pinterest. And please, as you go through these different directories for podcasts, if you like the show, please rate us, review us, let us know what you think. It helps other people find the show, and it also helps us know what to do with the show. Yeah, there's not that many episodes left, but we do really listen to this, and we love the interaction. Find us on Facebook. Just look up The Killing Podcast on Facebook, and you'll find us there. And you can also send us emails, and our email address is southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. That's it. I am just spent from this one.
I'm shell-shocked.
For The Killing Podcast, I'm Rob Southgate.
I'm Martha Southgate.
And I'm still going to say it. Maybe next time we'll find out where Callie is.
And who killed Bullet.
And did Joe do it? If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.